guys, welcome to the next episode of the Suburban Media Gaming Podcast. I don't remember the number because it's been a month and a half since we recorded one of these. I am the host, not Josh, and with me today are my fairly good-looking co-hosts. We have someone else whose name is Josh.
Yeah, that's me.
It's Helios.
Yeah.
And then we have
Also Josh,
who's Andy HG on YouTube. And
Not Josh.
over there, that's Duncan. He's
he's over
too
here.
elusive. Yeah, no, we're all Josh. Alright, so let's just hop right into the first section, which is just, what we've been playing recently. In between bouts of Resident Evil 2, I've been going back and putting some more work into my third playthrough of Persona 5, so it's been
I think you like that game.
just a little. It's like, what, 260 hours I think I have logged right now?
Oh, that's not so bad.
And I still have another playthrough planned where I actually play the game. What about you guys?
Well, let's see. I've been playing Tales of Vesperia for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Then that got switched over to Kingdom Hearts 3, which I now alternate between that and replaying through the entirety of Need for Speed Payback, since all my data got kind of lost during the transition between new systems.
Well, at least you can play the game again, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I can play the game now.
Need for Speed's a good game, so...
Yeah, no, like, if I ignore
The paywalls.
the paywalls, which there isn't any, thank God, it's not bad. It's not... I like it more than 2015 Need for Speed.
Yeah, Payback was... I mean, it had good driving mechanics.
Yes,
It was fun. It was fun to play. There was some weird microtransaction stuff, but...
you can ignore it and just play the game normally, which is fine.
What about you, Andy?
I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 3, which I kind of have ambivalent feelings towards, which I've spoken to these people outside of the podcast about.
Maybe next week we'll go far more in depth into that one.
Next week we might do that.
I know, you'll have lots of fun with that.
I'll have plenty to talk about.
How
the game
about-
I've played a lot of.
How about no? But besides that, I've recently picked up a Xbox One S, not to be confused with the Xbox One X, because, well, that doesn't sound confusing.
Well,
No,
if you put an Xbox One X into a box to ship it, that box is an Xbox One X box.
Wow.
Look, I used to work at a...
Well, it's not as bad as Nintendo's naming.
Look,
it.
I used
New
to
3DS.
I used to work at a
Yeah.
game
Do you want to
store.
buy a used new?
I used to work at a game store, and it was so annoying.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've played Fallout 4 for it, and I got bored of it about 30 minutes in,
That's fair.
I'm sorry.
and then I'm enjoying 1,000 rare titles, and by that I mean rare, and I'm not talking about rare titles.
The Rare Replay is...
Yes,
It does a very good job of bringing the controls for the old games onto the Xbox controller.
it has Battletoads.
It does have
Which is an
Battletoads.
achievement. I'm not kidding. It's an actual achievement.
Well, one of the things that people would do when you worked at GameStop is they would call and be like, "Do you guys have Battletoads?" Like, I don't know why that's a meme, but that is a meme. It's calling GameStop and asking for Battletoads. And so most of the time, people would call and be like, "Yeah, I have it." They'd be like, okay," and they hang up.
And briefly,
The joke
they
got
did.
taken too seriously.
They're like, oh no, I didn't expect this.
And briefly they did, and I did buy it from GameStop at one point. But other than that, I've also picked up South Park: The Fractured Butthole, which also includes Stick of Truth with it, so I don't have to buy that now.
Excellent.
All for $15.
Not bad.
Oh, okay,
actually.
good.
Wow, that's a steal.
It is a steal. 2 games in one. And I've also bought Tales of Vesperia, as well the definitive thingy.
The definitive.
The definitive thing is my favorite game.
My favorite is the definitive thinking edition.
And I also have Rise of the Tomb Raider, which a lot of these I actually found very cheaply. Strangely enough, except for Tales of Vesperia thingy. Other than that,
I'm sorry, it's just that Douglas reaction's hilarious.
but other than that, I've also picked up 2 Famicom games the other day. One is a Joy Robomech, I believe it's called. It was a fun fighter game on the Famicom.
Okay.
Hope to play that on this channel someday. It's actually really fun.
Well, I have that over there plays Famicom games.
Me too. I mean, I play.
I was gonna be like, that sounds like
That sounded painful.
It wasn't that bad.
But that's my roundabout with of games I've been playing lately.
All right, Duncan. What about you? Don't you dare say Kingdom Hearts.
Well, too bad I haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
Have you been playing Tales of Vesperia thingy?
I've also been playing Tales of Vesperia thingy. So yes,
Wow, I'm surprised he didn't correct you. Definitive edition, Andy.
Oh, definitive thingy.
It's called going. It's called going with the flow. That's what I do. But yes, I have played and beaten Kingdom Hearts 3, and I've also been playing a lot of Vesperia. But another game I've really been putting a lot of hours into is Smash Ultimate for tournament reasons, and another game called Dragon Marked for Death, which is basically
Mega Man 05.
It's Mega Man Zero if it had online beat 'em up mechanics.
Also, if there's any
So
players
money
that
number
play
9
this game,
became-
apparently he really needs someone to like grind levels with. He's desperate.
I'm not that desperate.
This is his friend code somewhere in here.
I'm not gonna put a friend code out there.
But no, seriously, it is a
Yeah.
good game. Anybody who loves the Mega Man Zero style games, it is made by NT Creates, so you know what you're expecting when you get into it.
Excellent.
And I highly recommend it to anyone who has a Switch. Also, there is a physical copy coming out in March as well.
And I'm waiting for it.
There's what is that? You showed me a clip from it yesterday. The Fantasy Advanced Wars.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
oh,
also I think it's called War Groove.
War Groove, yeah. That's the name.
Now that's not a game I have been playing.
I
But,
want to pick it up.
but it's a game that basically looks like Advance Wars, and I totally want to grab that.
I can dig it. I love Advanced Wars.
It's funny because when I mentioned it the first time, he was sitting across the room,
And then I screamed out "Advance Wars," but not Advance Wars.
Sure.
and then he immediately
I
like
was
came
just
over
there, I
and
was
like,
hello. I've been summoned. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of a general recap of what we've been playing. We're recording in a new location now, so that's neat.
Weird Al won a Grammy.
Huh.
wait, who won it? Warren?
Weird Al.
Oh, nice.
Another one.
Was it for Africa?
I don't know.
I
haven't
wouldn't be
been-
surprised.
Haven't been paying attention, but then again, unlike the Patriots, I actually don't care if he won another Grammy.
Well, that also wouldn't have been his 10th if we're going to compare it to the Patriots.
Oh Lord.
Well, the Patriots is now 6, and I think more than 4 is overcompensating, honestly, but that's a whole different discussion.
That's a completely different field for that matter.
Are
But
you
I
happy,
don't know how we got here. But,
Are you happy, Tiffany? I know you're happy, Tiffany.
yeah, so we're going to... There wasn't a whole lot of news there was news, but it's over and done with. The biggest kind of news that we're going to talk about was the Wii Shop, actually 2 weeks or so ago, got shut down. Finally, rest
rest in peace, Wii Shop.
Rip Wii Shop. See, I half expected you to just do the Wii Shop theme.
I
Or
can't
you
think of a
could
sad
do
version
you
of
could
that.
do the meme thing where it plays that song, but like have our logo like mess around as the song beats different things.
Or you could watch the Trainwreck version that Brett Frost did. But anyway,
but yeah, so that with the Wii Shop shutting down, there was a lot of games on there that you could only get on the Wii Shop.
Chrono Trigger being one.
Chrono Trigger being one of them. There was
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
you could get that.
There was a
in
virtual
there.
console.
There was a
Right.
Wii version of Cave Story that's only available on the Wii Shop.
Oh yeah, there was.
I did get it. I did have
It's
it.
a good grab. But like So that's brought up a big conversation in the gaming community that's kind of died out, and we're the last people to talk about it, but that's fine. We're just catching up.
It's also brought up that, what was it? There was a nice article I saw on there earlier that basically stated Nintendo is literally telling you that pirating is the only way to preserve their games.
Yeah.
Well, discouraging you from doing it.
It brings up a good kind of debate between like physical and digital games. I know personally I prefer physical. I think most of us here at the table actually prefer physical, so there's going to be less of a debate and more just kind of general discussion.
See, but I feel like even though I'm definitely more of a physical guy, I can still see and understand the benefits of having a digital.
I can
copy.
as well.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, there's plenty of benefits to having digital games. I have plenty of digital games from the times that I was too lazy to go to the store, so I just bought it. Or like, there was a day that it was snowing out, and I really wanted to buy it, Bloodborne, so I like bought it digitally. So that's a game that I own digitally.
Heck, some games on my Switch I own digital because I don't feel like switching the cartridge out.
Yeah, and that's a big thing.
Just swapping over to it. Plus, save space.
Yeah. Save physical space, not digital space.
Yes, physical space.
So one example, and I guess I'll probably take a video or something just to accompany this. I love getting physical games.
Yeah.
But this is one of the biggest examples of why I don't mind doing digital. Like, sometimes you're forced to.
Oh, lordy.
So we're just looking here. Andy has every single Switch game available.
Yeah, count them. He has all 97 of them.
All the slots in his Switch case are not only full, but he even has another case,
separate case
that carries more games.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, count
it gets overwhelming after a while. It's like, yeah, besides the fact that it gets expensive, it is overwhelming and it gets really hard on space.
Actual physical space. Like, that's one reason to do digital over physical.
Yes.
But, I mean, there's also just like, personally, I know I prefer owning a physical copy of the game, as evidenced by my shelf of physical copies of games.
Yeah, it looks amazing to have on display.
It's real nice just to own and hold, right?
Yeah.
But like this.
But then you have those games that only release digitally. Two examples that I
Not
can
in
think
time. I'm mad at.
But yeah, besides that one, which I didn't think of until you brought it up, there's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah, which you can't get anymore.
And
not by legal means, anyway.
Probably what I really wanted, because I saw gameplay for it. It looked good. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Eyes Over Heaven, I think. Is
Wait, that's only a digital release?
That's only a digital release, and it's only on the PS4.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, what sucks about like the Scott Pilgrim game is that you can't get it anymore because who was it? Ubisoft, I think, made that game.
Yeah,
Ubisoft had a
Ubisoft lost
issue.
the license with from Universal to make for the game, basically. So they had to pull it off of the Xbox and PlayStation shops for the last generation, the 360 and the PS3.
Yep.
And speaking of losing licenses,
can you still get download codes for it though?
I mean, you're technically not supposed to be able to. I don't even know if it's available. Like, if you own a download code, I don't know if you can redeem that download code to download the game. I don't know if that works.
Speaking of, when you brought up the whole at the end of the PS3 360... You really need to stop hurting yourself. The 360 life cycle. Did you hear the news concerning the PS Plus?
No.
So, I can't remember exactly when they're going to implement this, but apparently PS Plus is going to stop functioning on the Vita.
March, I believe.
On the Vita and the PS3 soon. Which is going to affect how a lot of the PlayStation Plus stuff work on those particular systems. So, for example, if you're like me and you got Under Night on the PS3 through PS Plus and you can't renew it anymore, I guess you've got useless data on your system now.
I think that's the only advantage I have, is that I never used PS Plus for anything. I always just used the free online stuff. So that's probably why I'm gonna be fine. But at the same time, I do feel like I'm afraid how that's gonna turn out.
You're just like, it's gonna stop functioning on the Vita. I was like, that does not affect me.
It really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't affect me either, to be honest with you. But I can see how that can be a major inconvenience.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not a lot of things online I go online with my PS3 anyway.
Yeah.
Or my Vita,
I'm
for
also,
that matter.
I mean, like, all of the games, like, I own digital games on the PS3,
Mhm.
but I just, that's not, like, tied to my PlayStation Plus. At least I don't think so. So I could just, like, log in and download them.
Yeah.
So
Even then, it's like anything I got with PlayStation Plus, I could just get a physical copy of anyway.
for the
So
most part, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, on my PS3, I have Katamari Damacy, which doesn't really matter anymore because I own a copy on the PS2 now. So I guess that's the thing.
like for me, DuckTales.
Yeah, at this point, having both of them just seems like just more of a backup kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I didn't pay for the physical copy, but I couldn't play it for the longest time because I didn't have a working PS2. But whatever. But talking about like the preservation of games media, when you're talking about digital games, and now that they're shutting down the eShop and we're missing out on however many games were only available digitally.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel sorry for people that can't get like Chrono Trigger that easily. Because
Yeah.
from what I hear, that game is a lot harder to get than I thought.
I mean,
Well-
the only ways you can get it now, from what I know,
I know there's the DS version.
There's a DS version. You could get it on the SNES Classic, but that's no longer being made anymore. So that
because
option.
You can't get Chrono Trigger on the SNES Classic.
Oh wait, that's right. It wasn't on
That
there.
wasn't
was
on
it?
there.
It was Secret of Mana
Yeah.
that was on there. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking about.
No, so
That should have been.
the only way to get Chrono Trigger, as far as I know, is the DS version.
And if you really want to go even further back, but not too far back to the Super Nintendo,
There's also the PS1.
I think it's called
Yeah,
the Final
Final
Fantasy
Anthology?
not Anthology.
No, that's
Chronicles. The Final Fantasy Chronicles,
Yeah, Final
bundle.
Fantasy Chronicles had a
which had Final Fantasy IV bundled.
Oh, there
yeah,
it is
Final
right
Fantasy
there.
IV
The Chronicles,
bundled
yeah.
and
Final
Chrono
Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger.
Trigger.
Yeah, there it is right there.
On the PS1, right? And like, come on, right? The
Oh,
PS1.
Tony.
Besides, I know honestly, I would prefer to play it on the SNES
Alright.
simply
Look,
because.
And if you want to go even further back
Yeah.
than that, like if you don't want to pay $200 for or they're $100 for an SNES
Yeah,
cartridge,
just the card itself.
just the cartridge out of
Yeah.
box, right? Or you could get a Japanese copy for $15.
And if you have a Retron 5 English patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's a lot of hoops to jump through to play a game that should be fairly readily available.
Not to mention, it's a well-known Square Enix RPG.
It's
I'm
a
surprised that it's
masterpiece.
not released anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not on the Virtual Console on the Wii U or the Virtual Console on the
No,
3DS.
Square just likes Final Fantasy and Secret of Mana, apparently.
It's an
I was
Only the
surprised
first
that they
one.
like Secret of Mana though, because
Oh, sorry, the first one.
Chrono
Outside
Trigger.
of Japan.
I
Hold
thought
on.
Chrono Trigger was more popular than that.
Cries because Second and Setsu 3
I'm
is not
actually-
in America. And never will be in America.
It's like,
I'm actually blinking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can get Chrono Trigger on
And
the
no translation
PSN as
either.
well. Just give me a hot second. Keep talking amongst
But
yourselves.
yeah.
No
I'll look
worries.
this up.
but I think
But
going back to like Scott Pilgrim and losing licenses, I feel like it's also bad because there are certain games you can't get anymore. Even before the Wii Shop completely shut down, like there was games on other consoles like the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 Live Arcade, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, for example, or Simpsons arcade, or the X-Men
well, yeah, because
arcade.
they shut down the live arcade like forever ago.
Well, more is because they lost the license. Yeah.
You can definitely get Chrono Trigger on the PS3.
Oh, nice.
And also on the Vita.
Okay.
Wow, I can't wait to play it on my Vita.
Hey,
I care about the Vita just as much as
Hey,
Sony
it's
does.
my
That's to say I don't at
it's
all.
a portable. I love it. It's my portable PS1.
I'm so glad that you have spent a lot of money on your PS4 controller.
Well, I mean,
No,
I did
I
buy
would pay, like-
a Vita
pay,
cheaper,
like,
and
40
that's
bucks.
the PlayStation TV.
Yeah, the PlayStation TV doesn't count. The PlayStation TV is an HDMI connected to a cartridge port, so you can just plug the cartridge and just play it on the TV,
Yeah.
which is a neat workaround. But this is off topic, but I care about the Vita as much as Sony does. Just
But
to say
anyway.
they stopped supporting it.
It was the only way I can play Persona 4 Golden, and I really wanted to play that. So
Yeah.
You
But
should've just not.
I
Yeah.
love it. It's
You-
good.
But
could just
yeah,
play
I
Persona
think
4 Arena.
digital is also
Nah.
it's just bad, especially with losing licenses.
Yeah.
Because I really wish that some of those games that are delisted
I mean, like
such as Ninja Turtles,
yeah.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim is a big one for me, mostly because I didn't have a way to get it,
Wait.
and then it went off of the shop, and then when I finally had the ability to get it, like I had the money and the system to play it on,
It was gone.
Yeah.
it's gone.
Thankfully,
Off
I
the
did
face of
save
existence.
Simpsons Arcade before they got delisted off of Xbox.
And it's something like PT, like the
Yeah.
the playable teaser for Silent
Well,
Hills.
that's more a Konami problem.
I mean, that's a Konami problem, yeah, but still, if you want to play PT, you could spend like $1,000 on a PS4 with a version of PT installed on it, because that's what they go for.
Yeah, because you can't get that.
No, PT
No.
got pulled off the shop when Konami was like, actually, we don't care about Silent Hill, and
Pachinkos.
and fired Kojima.
Yep.
It was all one
Files.
Because their fans don't want to play
one big
games.
swell food.
They want to play pachinkos.
Which I feel terrible for Castlevania right now.
I mean, that's
why we have
This looks
Bloodstained whenever
good.
that comes
It's
out.
like, there's graphics in this
came out
look
already.
good.
Well,
But I
not-
wanna play
no, the other
this,
one, the
not
actual one,
watch
not the
it during the
good
thing.
version.
But so with the digital and physical, yeah, it's a weird thing because I like both.
Because even in digital, if my internet goes out,
Yeah, you
just
still
pull
have
out
it.
my physical copy and be like,
I mean,
Thankfully,
that
most
has a little-
digital.
that has a little bit to do with DRM, which is the digital
Yeah.
rights management. So
Yeah.
like, it's a little funky, and it's like getting a download game and like downloading it on your PlayStation and then losing internet and not being able to play the downloaded game anymore is something that I've run into a couple times. So
all right, not that I
Wait,
want to
which
bring
game
up.
did that actually?
I don't remember. It's mostly just any game that you get for free with PlayStation Plus. If you're not connected to the internet, it can't authenticate your PlayStation Plus, so you can't play the game, which is a little frustrating for game. Well, I mean, it's frustrating, but it's also games that I paid $0 for.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I mean, like on the topic of like talking about that, like digital v physical, how difficult it is to play Chrono Trigger, which is a very good game, which should not be that difficult to get a copy of to
No,
play.
I think it's a fine game.
It's
And
an amazing game.
Just kind of that's one of the things we get to kind of talk about is the preservation of games media, which is a big topic. Several months ago, a little bit before the Wii Shop shutdown news, but that was when they Nintendo specifically started targeting emulator sites, taking down ROM sites and stuff like that, because there's a lot of games you can only play like. Nintendo does. I don't know why they did that. I mean, like some of the more popular games, like Pokemon, like those games you can buy digitally.
Joke's
on
on
the
them.
3DS.
I still have my Pokemon ROM, so I can play that
But
at any
I
point.
mean, it's less like those specific games because you can get those on digitally on the 3DS.
But then there's stuff that nobody has the license to anymore.
Yeah, there's
Like,
stuff that you can't get.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
The
talking
di-
about NES.
Yeah, well, there's the Digital Devil Summoner games on Game Boy, which were available only in Japan, which you cannot get a physical copy for, which you cannot play now that the ROM sites are down.
Yeah. Yeah, they're literally shutting down sites that gave us access to games that allowed us to play those particular titles that no one's ever heard of. Due to like licensing restrictions and region.
It's not even licensing restrictions, and it's not even like Nintendo is losing any money on us downloading digital games for games that like digital versions of games that they don't make money on sales for.
Like, I bet you never heard of a game called Summon Night on the GBA, have you?
I mean, I have, but
Do you have a copy of
I
it?
do not have a copy of
That's
it.
exactly
I do
my
not
point.
have a copy of Summon Night on the Game Boy Advance.
And that's another thing. Like, the sites were literally there to help people play a game that they don't want to shell out $1,000 for a physical copy of.
That's how I originally played Chrono Trigger.
It's like
I played it on an emulator.
It's like, oh, you want to go ahead and play Gotcha Force for the GameCube? Better spend like $100 to get a copy of it.
Hey, I got you covered. My Wii has a GameCube emulator, so I can play that anytime I want.
So,
I also have the physical game too. I got it when it was selling for $10.
So like, here's the thing though. Like, I understand if you were to try to pirate, what's a game that just came out? If you tried to pirate Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Oh heck
Like,
Yeah.
That Square is gonna get mad at you. PlayStation's gonna get mad at you. Like, whatever. Like, I understand that. That's a game that they're currently making money on.
Yeah.
And so like that's that's basically stealing. It's
Yeah,
like trying to download pirate a new game that came out. But a game that came out on the original Game Boy that I can't buy a copy of easily.
It'd be different if they were still producing those copies.
But then it would also it wouldn't be an issue about preservation of games media because they were making the games currently.
Yeah.
They're not making them anymore. The only way to preserve them is, through these gray market online websites where you can download something that might be a virus.
Oh my
god. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
See,
Who else doesn't want to play King James's Bible on the Game Boy?
I can't believe it's actually a thing. He's not joking. That is a thing. I've seen it, and it's real. And it's
real.
Dumb.
It's
there. If you really want to read the Bible on a small ass Game Boy
But listen,
screen.
the Game Boy also had those stupid freaking Shark Tales on the cartridge. Do you want to watch a movie like Bit Crunched onto
I remember those.
Episodes of Dragon Ball GT.
aspect ratio screen?
I remember Sonic X was also one of
Sonic
those things
X,
you could watch too.
Sonic X, Dragon Ball GT, I think was one of them.
Well, they also
and Pokemon.
They also crushed the GT opening for the Legacy of Goku, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
the pixelated cringe.
The opening is so good. The toppest of quality.
But yeah, I think the problem is with the good thing about those ROM sites is because some of those games out there you would never hear about. Like for me, Little Samson on NES is probably one of the best and underrated NES games on that console. It's a really good platformer game, and unfortunately, if you want a physical copy of that, you're gonna be spending like an entire semester's worth of college just to get a cartridge of it.
So it's called Little Samson.
Yeah, I actually own a copy of it. I own the European
PAL
one
version, right?
Yeah. Which is thankfully less expensive, but now I think that's driven up in price.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah, he's looking at it right now.
Is it like Zelda's Adventure level expensive?
So
Even worse.
a used copy on eBay is going for like $3,000.
That's a used copy too. That's not a brand new refurbished
A
one.
new copy,
Oh no!
sealed,
Kill me now.
is going for $18K.
Wow. That fucking game's worth more than me right now.
But yeah.
Bro, that's literally more than my college tuition.
Dude, you could just buy a house for that. House? NES?
That's a very
Oh
yes, game that I'll
my
play for
Lord.
I could probably beat in 3
House?
hours.
Car? NES game?
That's nutty.
But seriously, who's stupid enough to shell out $18,000?
Somebody.
You'd be surprised.
Somebody's paying that price.
I mean, at video game conventions, you do see these games, for sale, and
Yeah, I mean,
especially the NWC cartridge, which is the most expensive NES game,
the NTC.
and it's not even really worth it. It's
Yeah,
it's just 3 games.
No,
which
it's NES Remix.
Wait, really? And
it might as well be.
It's literally you play 3 games and you only play certain sections of those.
You have
3
6
games,
minutes,
and whoever has the
overall.
highest score at the end wins.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a 6-minute time limit.
Yeah.
so
I think.
weird.
No, that cartridge was only meant to be used for competitions, not actual.
And there's only about less than 100.
experiences.
There's also about less than 100 of the gray cards made, and about only 27 or 26 of the golden ones, which were given away through Nintendo
prizes.
Power.
Huh.
But yeah, it's something like that. Obviously, nobody's going to want to pay the actual thing, which is one thing I would want to talk about. Reproduction cartridges and ROM hacks is one thing I really like because you can buy some of these games for a very relatively cheap price.
Over on the shelf over there, I have a copy of Mother 3.
Yeah, same
I
here.
He was gonna bring up Mother 3.
I have the English translated copy of Mother 3 on the Game Boy Advance.
A game that Reggie says he knows that people want it, but we're in 2019 and we still haven't got it.
There was a chance we were going to get it on the Virtual Console for the Wii U, but then that died prematurely because we got Earthbound And then we got Earthbound Beginnings, which was Mother 1.
But nobody wanted to buy the Wii U, and it's like,
Nobody wanted the Wii U, and then Mother 1's also not a great game.
It's not.
It's really not.
It's a series that progressively gets
like,
better.
Earthbound is really good, and I have yet to actually finish Mother 3, but it's like nobody wanted Mother 1, people wanted Mother 3.
Yes.
So
Well, then
there's
again,
also
it doesn't
kind of
help that the first one was supposed to come out over here, and there is an actual thing for it. Like what the what's on the eShop right now, I believe, is the actual translation that they had ready to go. It's kind of like Star Fox 2,
Yeah, which was
where
on
they were
the
ready to go,
SNES
but
Classic.
they opted not to do it at the last
Ow.
second.
Again, you really need to stop
bad
hurting
at this,
yourself.
But yeah, it's like so many games like that you'll never actually get the full opportunity to experience, because you could buy like a Famicom card of the first Mother game, but you're probably not going to know what it is unless you get like a translation or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the only reason I own a copy of Chrono Trigger at all is because I bought a Japanese, like a Famicom copy for $15, which was right next to the $500 copy. I was like, no, I want the cheap one. I know the story well enough. There's, they fall back in time and there's a frog somewhere.
It's all about what you do.
Robo, it's actually really good. I love that game.
My only hard copy of that game right now is on my DS.
The only hard
I-
copy.
Digital copy.
The only hard copy.
Oh no,
for
you
me
got a
is-
physical copy of the original DS one. Yeah.
Yeah, the original DS.
Yeah, no, I have that too. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
So at that point, it's like, how much are you willing to go back to play a game that originally came out for the Super Nintendo?
A game
Yeah.
that is
Do you want to go back to the
timeless.
DS, the
Yeah.
PlayStation 1, or the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, that just kind of wrapped back up to our what we were
Which
talking about, which is
I-
just like that's the big problem with Nintendo, like targeting and taking down ROM sites. Like Emu Paradise, it's still up, and
it
now
still has some.
there's no ROMs on it anymore because they had this huge legal issue with Nintendo.
Yep.
So from now on, it's now a catalog of
Of
games.
games.
So that's like their effort to preserve games media with their website now that they're not allowed to host ROMs on it anymore, which is neat. You can go and find like the names of games that were on there, but
Yeah.
that doesn't help you play
Play
them,
them.
which is kind of an important part of games. Is
What the
playing
fuck is
them?
the point of like having a game if you can't play it?
exactly.
Like, I can think of 2 games right off the bat that I would have never been able to play if it wasn't for Emu Paradise. And that was, and it's funny because the character of the game that I'm about to mention actually does appear in the other game. And that was Mischief Makers and Rakugaki Showtime.
Sounds like Andy's a little upset by that.
Andy probably knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't.
I played both of those games.
And I can't
really
get a copy of the latter.
Rakugaki.
I can't find a copy
Uh,
that I don't mind spending money on.
I'm actually curious. How much is that one going
I mean,
for?
back forever ago,
Or
before
for me.
there was any re-releases or Virtual Console in like 2013, I was playing through Chrono Trigger and Earthbound and Final Fantasy IV on an emulator because there was no other way for me to play them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I was cutting out of Nintendo's profits by downloading a game they stopped producing 20 years ago.
Basically, I mean, the only other time I can imagine them wanting to do something is if they like plan on releasing it on the Virtual Console, but right now all we have are rotating NES games.
Which is lame. There's no Virtual Console on the Switch, which is
Yeah.
a big problem I have with the
And
Switch.
I was gonna say that was gonna be another discussion for another time, but
It's definitely a
This-
discussion
this
for another
is-
time, but it definitely ties in.
But
in
I
this
think it's
discussion.
what irritates me about the Switch and about Nintendo right now is I don't.
Is it a copy of Rakugaki Showtime?
Nah, just my response to Andy's reaction when I showed him the price.
But
What was the price of Rakugaki Showtime? Could you share? with us?
Over $250. And it's a PS1
Like
title.
$250?
Yeah. And it's a PS1
it's a
title.
Japanese exclusive.
Whereas
Never
Mischief,
paid that much money for a video game. I lied.
whereas
I
Mischief,
paid that much for a collector's edition of a video game.
and
Okay, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
though.
I also got 4 statues and a collection of Easter eggs.
I bought,
and Mischief
I bought
Makers,
Evo.
and Mischief Makers, which is an N64 title, is going for $200.
Ugh.
Well, that's probably sealed or something. Because I think a physical copy box, should only be about 50.
Should be a little cheaper.
Yeah. But the thing I don't like about Nintendo right now, especially to do with this, is how they're handling playing some of the old classic games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the online service.
Oh, it
because
sucks.
it's like, I'm not going to talk about the service itself. I'm talking about the classics that
Yeah,
you get.
no, I'm like that
because
they both suck.
They do.
because it's like, first of all, you don't even really get to choose what's on there. It's like, it gives you games, which is nice, but at the same time, I kind of like being able to buy them in as long as you have
them for me, and
Which
not have to wait a week for the new rotation to come in.
Can I please just purchase Link to the Past, Super Metroid?
If you want me to buy Ice Climbers, let me buy Ice Climbers.
I mean, why would I?
First off, why?
Are you really gonna buy Ice Climbers though?
There's people that like
it's the
that
option. It's like, I just like having the option of it.
My 3DS is dead, or I would open it up and show you. I have a collection of virtual console games on that. I've got the same thing on my Wii U. Like, the virtual console's amazing. I have Earthbound, Pokemon Gold, I think. No, I think I got Silver.
That's primarily the reason why.
Pokemon Yellow, like, good games.
Like, why did you not do this with the Switch?
That's primarily why.
What's wrong with
my Wii U?
Yeah. It's like, why can't I just buy things?
The Wii U Virtual Console was amazing too because it had N64 games. So you had really, like, you had Mario 64, which I bought immediately, and then day one purchased Paper Mario.
I got Sin and Punishment as well.
Sin and Punishment, yeah.
But
the N64 Paper Mario. I don't own an N64. I can only play that on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Kirby's Crystal Shards. I got that also.
And that's great. And that's why I'm upset because they're taking down the emulator sites, so they're saying we're not allowed to play these games our way, and then they're not giving us the virtual console on the Switch, so we're not even allowed to play them their way either.
Yeah, like it's like if Nintendo legit put their stuff on the Switch, I gladly would have bought them.
I would purchase, like, frame one, purchase Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Wind Waker, like Switch GameCube.
Honestly.
Games. I would just buy my whole GameCube library on the Switch. Get in there.
Where is my Sega Saturn games I was promised? I want to play Panzer Dragoon Saga without blowing, half $1,000 at least to play it.
I would too, actually.
Might as well just buy Zelda's Adventure.
Ouch.
Hey, we tie back to an old episode.
But and also to quickly sort of switch the topic.
Sure.
One thing I am glad for, especially with the current gen consoles, there are now more remasters and collections coming out. So, especially if Kingdom Hearts, you get to play the different ones.
Kingdom
updated.
Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue HD. I hate
the story
that
so
much.
far.
That's how you.
I hate it so much.
That's how you handle past games, especially games that have a long lineage after it.
Or,
I mean, so I'm 50-50 torn on the remasters and stuff like that. I absolutely love Resident Evil 2 Remake. I think that it's amazing. It's very well done. It is a great representation of what the game was supposed to be done with current technologies. I love Leon, and he's such an innocent...
Who doesn't?
He's so dumb. I love him so much.
Best RE protagonist.
I don't know. Chris's boulder-like shoulders are he's up there. Actually, no. Just kidding. I love Barry.
That's your favorite character.
But there's like half of that. I love the being able to play these old games in a new way, and then there's half. Oh yes, I'm going to pay $40 to play this same game with somebody scrubbed the graphics to make them look nicer. Like I'm a little torn on it because I bought a Wii U so that I could play the Wind Waker HD remake. That 100% is the only reason I own a Wii U is so that I can play Wind Waker, which is dumb because I own it on the GameCube. So that's $360. It was just $300. I got the collector's edition.
But it looks crisp.
It looks great, and that's the thing. It's
it's
a game that I love.
There are some parts of it that work a little better than the GameCube.
Yeah, no, I mean they updated the Triforce
Tangle.
They updated the Triforce quest, so you only have to get 3 Triforce charts, and then you just find the others. So it's easier than hunting down the
The
whole
Yeah.
ocean
faster
for
sale.
7. The faster sale, which is just not even something they could do in the first game.
Yeah, as long as
So-
they're improving things,
Yeah.
not just giving it a shinier coat of paint.
I mean, but
I'm great
sometimes
with
that's
that.
enough too, because like the Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1, I just been playing Resident Evil 2,
Yeah.
so that's what's on my mind. Like those, like I'm okay with them bringing those old games because they're not available to play anywhere except the GameCube and the PS2 or the PS1 actually, right? The original
The original was a PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1, yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can go play them on the PlayStation 1, or you can play them on the port on the GameCube, or they just made it so that they brushed up the graphics, fixed the controls a little bit so it's not as gross, and then brought it out on the PS4. So now you can play these old games that have some significance, and they didn't absolutely ruin them, which is what they did with Silent Hill.
Probably
I mean,
another good example of a remake that that brought out that I was really happy about was Final Fantasy X. And it's even though it is basically Final Fantasy X, the version we got in the remake was the international version, which was not released outside of Japan.
They also did the
How do you
same.
call it international and not release it outside of a single nation?
Ironic.
They also did the same thing for the Kingdom Hearts remade titles, like 1 and 2 specifically, and Birth by Sleep. The ones that were remastered on the PS4 are their final mix versions, which have been in Japan for like an eternity. And we've been wanting to play those forever. The same is also said, and I'm really grateful for this one, for Vesperia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one also. The definitive
Yeah,
edition.
since we were just talking about that at the beginning of the episode,
Like
like
this
45 minutes ago.
Like, this version of Vesperia literally comes with all of the fixes they made to the PS3 version that the 360 version didn't have.
Well, so the one that was released in America was basically just like launch version that
Yeah.
got translated and then released.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then they made extra fixes and then never released it outside of Japan.
Plus, they added 2 additional characters that you're able to have in your party now, as opposed to having them for like only 2 seconds and then you can never play them again.
Which is what it was like in the original 360
Yep.
version. And the reason that it's like the reason that it's weird in America, it's defined between 360 and PS3 versions because the PS3 isn't region locked, which I'm so glad is a thing of the past now. There's not a single current gen console that's region locked.
Thank God.
Which is
Well, the 3 never was.
no, the 3 wasn't, but the 3.
But the game. I know some games are region locked.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
know
some
the
of them
console-
are region
The console itself wasn't region locked,
Yeah.
but the Xbox 360 was region locked,
Well, actually, no, that was kind of the same deal.
and the Wii U
The
was
Wii-
region locked.
Yeah, the
the
Wii,
Wii was
yeah,
definitely
the Wii,
region locked.
yeah, the Wii and the Wii U were
Yeah.
definitely, but with the 360 and the PS3, the consoles themselves weren't region locked, but
The
there were
games
certain
were.
games.
Okay, so I mean, but I knew
still,
the,
yeah.
the PS2
That was,
was
definitely
region locked.
locked.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry that you can't play that one fake game for the PS2.
It's right
Yeah.
there.
I have a Japanese PS2. Just ask.
Can I borrow your PS2, Randy?
As I said, just ask. All you have to do.
Or don't you know someone that can modify the PS2 to
Well,
make
I
it
don't have a
non-regional?
PS2 anymore.
Wait, what happened?
Some stuff got broken. But I have a PS3 that plays PS2 games, so I can still play my PS2 games. That's not
Have you tried
playing
playing
Rogue Out. Yes.
Yeah,
It
PS3?
doesn't work.
Oh.
it
Rip.
doesn't work
The
for
disc
imports.
is like
Yeah.
region locked, so
Yeah.
I can't play my Japanese PS2 game on my English PS3.
That sucks.
It's dumb, but whatever.
It is.
But we're way off topic. But yeah, I'm region locked is a thing of the past. The Switch, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4.
I don't
region
know. It's
locked
part of the
right away.
conversation because it's all about being able to play.
Yeah,
these
being
things.
able to
it's
play
all
games.
about being
Yeah.
able to preserve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
like
it's
not
still-
even preservation, just experiencing games that outside of
that
our
will
region.
never experience ever in a lifetime, as long as I'm in America.
I would actually just buy another PlayStation, my dude.
I actually would love to play a re-release of Sunshine
Yeah.
at like
Or-
60 frames
yeah.
on the Switch.
Just 60 frames, 1080p on a Switch handheld.
Oh my god. That would
They
be
don't even have to
perfect.
change anything. It could be
They
the
don't.
same game, but just like, make
Although
it
I
run
would-
on the Switch.
I would
60
like
frames.
if
I'm
they
I'm
added
good.
that.
Why
that
didn't that get
beta,
deluxe?
If they added like the beta Delfino Island as like a small side thing, that'd be pretty cool. Just because the beta is so much more different than what we got.
Yeah.
Nintendo,
It's not necessarily the one we got is not as good. I just would like to experience what the original
Exactly.
was supposed
Nintendo,
to be.
stop making deluxe versions in
of
making
bad
it.
games and make deluxe good versions of good
Don't
games.
stop making deluxe versions of games and just give us the virtual
No.
console.
And by that, I mean, stop giving us deluxe versions where the selling point is the easy mode. Which is the only big difference.
I love Funky Kong.
Yes, but I don't want my Weenie Hut Jr. difficulty.
Advertised on the outside.
Yeah, we already got the Weenie Hut edition from Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You mean the game?
Another time.
I think we can probably wrap up now with that.
Yeah.
With that bombshell, we can have that discussion next week if you want.
Or at least until I beat the game.
We'll wait until Josh finishes the game and then we'll have that discussion. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed our little "Don't Call It a Comeback" episode. But here we are. We'll be hopefully doing this some weekly. Fingers crossed. We'll try. I promise. We've got other projects in the works. So, I released an episode of. The first episode of the Hat in Time playthrough last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! We have more episodes of that. We have more episodes of that to record, and then we have to record some more Let's Plays. But we'll hopefully get that a rolling, and some other small projects in the works too. So just I'm on Twitter at @not_Josh1, and then Andy is on YouTube at AndyHG, and Duncan is on YouTube as Too Elusive, and Josh is here.
Hey, what's up?
Alright guys, see ya next week. Bye.
Peace out.
Remember how to do this because it's been like a year.
We
Yeah,
just
it's
do
been
what we
like a
normally
month.
do.
We don't have a thing that we normally do.
Exactly.
I haven't
talk.
recorded for a month and a half.
Well, introduce the group and say the topic.
Wow, sounds like you should be the host.
What? I'm just remembering how we
Okay.
did this in his house.
Alright.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Andy's ready to go.
Alright.
All right. Duncan, are you paying attention?
I just died.
Yep.
Now he has to.
You can sit down if you want.
I prefer to stand.
Okay.
Because I'm a stand user.
Happy. The door is right.
That's not how that works.
All right, guys. Welcome to the next episode of the Suburban Media Gaming Podcast. I don't remember the number because it's been a month and a half since we recorded one.